On Two Wheels this week, a look at Triumph's new Thunderbird Sport. Claire finds out about the modifications required for a stunt bike. Jeff visits the classic show and Wayne meets a man who builds trikes. There's more biker chat and another top tip. For some people, the modern sports machine with its impressive top speed and razor-sharp handling really fails to impress. What they would like is something more traditional. The only problem there is with a traditional machine, it tends to be older, so it can be unreliable. They leak oil. They don't handle as well as the modern bike. So what about taking today's technology and wrapping it up into something that looks like it's fallen straight out of the 1950s or 60s? Well, that's exactly what Triumph have done with this, their brand new Thunderbird Sport. So this is the 2000 model Thunderbird Sport, and it's almost exactly the same as the original one that came out a couple of years ago. The big difference cosmetically is with the exhausts. The original model had the silencers on one side and it looked like the American flat tracker style of machine. Now, big chrome pipe either side, lovely symmetrical look to the back end, and I think looks tons better. You might notice a nice spoked wheel down there, 40 spokes at the back, 36 spokes at the front. Looks exactly right, but it is a pain to keep clean. Look at this, a side panel either side. When was the last time you owned a machine that had proper side panels and not loads of plastic? Little keyhole in this one, turn that, and the seat comes off eventually. It's a bit awkward. To reveal, really nothing. You couldn't store anything under there. There's a toolkit underneath there, battery, and that's really about all you can get at. No use at all really as far as storage goes, but it makes routine maintenance a little bit easier. Coming up to the front end then, and what you might call the heart of the machine, is this. Triumph's famous triple cylinder motor, 885 cc's here, about 82 brake horsepower. Not exactly earth-shattering, but plenty, believe me, power for this style of bike. You've no wind protection on this, so you don't want to go tearing around the lanes and making a nuisance of yourself. But they've gone out of the way here, Triumph, to actually make it look like an air-cooled motor. They really have. It's not, of course, it's liquid-cooled, but it looks exactly right. Lots of nice shiny chrome bits as well, of course, that you'd expect on this style of machine. Keep you busy in the garage, polishing all them. And coming further up to the front, nice big round headlamp and bullet-shaped indicators. Bit more chrome, bit more polishing. Spoke wheel on the front, as we've mentioned. Twin discs, Nissan calipers, great stopping power. Modern technology again coming in. Bit more chrome there for you to polish. Very, very nice. And look at that Triumph badge. Isn't that lovely? Looks like it's fallen straight out of the Ace Cafe in London, that, doesn't it? Superb. A couple of things I don't like, actually. Bit finicky, really, but I don't like this colour. This is opal white and tangerine. Not sure about that. Whoever would buy matching leathers to match this? I don't think I would. And my biggest complaint is up here. Let me just show you what's up here. Up here, as you would expect, is a petrol filler cap on this lovely shaped big fat petrol tank. But look at that. It comes completely off. It doesn't hinge. It doesn't even lock. Look at that. It's nice. It's shiny. It's chrome. People like to polish things, but you go to a petrol station, what do you do with that? Shove it in my pocket, leave it on the petrol pump, put it on there maybe, and then it falls off and bangs into your tank and scratches it. I just don't think it's right, that. It could hinge, it could certainly lock, because I can think of quite a few areas in this country where you couldn't leave that for more than 10 minutes because that would be gone. It would be on the bedroom shelf in some kid's bedroom as a kind of souvenir. But that's my big complaint. Dashboard further up here, very, very functional. Speedo rev counter, nice bit of shiny bit around the edge as well. All the usual warning lamps in between. Haven't got a petrol gauge, we're back to the old on-off reserve petrol tap down by the side of the tank there. Hazard warning lights on this. You don't often get that on a machine these days, so that could be useful. Maybe they think it's going to break down. Let's hope not. But yeah, it's not bad, and I think really, all in all, fair's fair. They've done a pretty good job. So if you are stuck in a bygone era, then there's no need to panic, because you can still have exactly what you desire. 1960s styling with 21st century technology, up-to-date modern engine, modern frame, modern suspension. This is monoshock actually, you may not have noticed, but there's no big chromy twin shocks at the back. There's a monoshock nicely tucked out of the way there towards the front of the swing arm. Fully adjustable as well. Rebound, preload, compression damping, all the rest of it, as is the front end. 43mm forks, again, all fully adjustable, so you can set it up to suit the way that you ride. It's not particularly cheap, this model. Style doesn't come cheap, does it, these days? £7,259 is the price of the Thunderbird Sport. And of course, being a Triumph, there's a big catalogue of accessories, dedicated accessories that you can add to your machine, so you can go on spending and spending until your heart's content. Now, I'm a bit thirsty, could do with a cup of tea, so I wonder if that Ace Cafe is still open.
Now, there's not many bikes on the road nowadays in their standard form, and obviously, if you've got a stunt bike, you've got to make quite a few changes. Neil, very funky looking Bandit you've got here.
It is. Starting
at the front of the bike, you've made obviously changes to the handlebars here.
I have. I've put wider handlebars on it, just to get me out of sticky situations when you get such a thing as like tank slappers in the middle of doing stunts. It just makes it a bit easier to control.
And obviously when you put your legs over the front.
It's a bit wider and it helps me out with the bar so you don't slide off the front. I've took the clocks off completely, changed all the front end basically, took the headlamp off the original one. I still have this one on, so you can still use it for road for work.
Is it road legal, yeah?
I've took the clocks off the way, out of the way, so out of the way it's easy to get your legs over the handlebars. I also have stunt pegs on the front for a passenger that I use. He helps me out doing some shows.
Is he mad, is he? Getting on the bike with you?
He's not, he's not well. We also have...
These are a bit shorter before we move on, aren't they?
We are, you take the ends off these basically for, if you're in the middle of a show, like the big phrase is the show must go on. If you fall off, usually you bend the lever around. So what we usually do is just cut the ends off, so if it does fall over or you do happen to drop it, there's no reason why they shouldn't break, because they don't touch the ground. Yeah. Also, we're on about falling off as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're protecting that bit there.
Yeah, we also have engine bars, nice little tight ones I had made for it. I didn't want any big funky ones. I have changed the
exhaust is different.
Exhaust, yeah. I have a carbon can exhaust on it, an anodised one. I also took the baffles out of the collector pipe. That's a bit of a restriction, that gives you a bit more brake horsepower as well.
For those powerful wheelies.
Yeah, for the powerful wheelies, yeah. Also, to help me wheelie, what a lot of people don't know is you disconnect some wires down here on any Bandit you want. That gives you a bit more power. It advances the ignition in the first 2 gears. Just like gives them a bit more power, a bit more grunt to wheelie. A lot of people don't know about those, but they're quite good to do.
Have you changed the gearing at all on this?
I've changed the gearing, yeah. I've gone a lot more, gone smaller on the front to make it rev a lot more easy. Like the gearing's a lot quicker, yeah. Just to give it a bit more aggression, a bit more wheelie, helps you out a bit more. I've also put the bar on the back as well.
Yeah, I saw the sparks flying.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bottle tester to do that one, but yeah, it's very impressive. There's not many people in the country that can actually land them on them and carry on them. But I'm still up and coming, like, yeah, I'm still learning that one, but we'll have that before end of year's out.
And where's that attached in here? Is it that comes right?
It's sunk right into the subframe to strengthen the subframe as well. I had to get the bars machine down, and it sinks into about a foot down to about here, so it strengthens all the back end as well. That can get you out of sticky situations as well sometimes. And basically, I have different tyres in it. I have a tyre sponsorship for it, which any stunt rider that's up and coming, you do need a stunt. Yeah, you do need a tyre sponsorship. These tyres are remolds, Concord tyres. They've only just come out, so I'm helping them out just to do a bit more background on them to see how they were. And up to now, I've not had no problems with them yet. I did a competition not long ago. A lot of people struggle doing the stoppie, locking the front wheel up. Mine was all right. If it was down to me, if it was down to the tyres, I don't know, but I've not had any problems at all with the tyres. It's good.
Yeah. Is there anything else you've got to do to this bike to help you in the stunt world? An air shift, did you say you wanted?
Yeah, an air shifter. That's impressive for one of the tricks I saw. You put an air shifter on it so you can change the gears. It has a button on the handlebars. For the button, It changes the gear when you press the button, basically. So that can really look impressive when you sat over the handlebars with the feet over the handlebars, and you can change gear. Yeah, you can keep going up. Basically, and that's it. Apart from Goodrich hoses, just to help you braking a lot better with Goodrich hoses on it. They just like give you a bit more for stopping distance, things like that. You get a lot more feedback off them. They're good. And
obviously a funky bit of paintwork there to get your notice to match the leathers.
It was, yeah. A guy at Blackpool painted it for me, esoteric paintwork. Yeah, it's all down to sponsorship, really.
I feel like you're forgetting that one in.
No, yeah.
My favourite bit of kit is my leathers, and only because I got them so cheap. I mean, I know I can't name the shop, but they should have been 350 quid. I got them in a sale for 100. It's such a bargain, and they feel great. And I just feel more confident on my bike, feel more protected. Fit really well as well.
Favourite piece of kit's got to be my lid at the minute. AGV lid, iridium visor. I think it looks really great, a bit cool. I've not reached my ideal kit yet on my leathers because I can't afford it yet, but I'll get there.
Favourite bit of kit? Helmet's good enough at the moment. I haven't really used much, but happy with this. The leathers, fine, great fit. Trying to find something that fits for my size is awkward, so I won't mind the Dainese, but I haven't found any that fit properly. Boots, use Frank Thomas, fine, perfect fit, so I'm pretty happy with what I've got.
My favourite piece of biking kit, in all honesty, is my long johns. Because I wear them all the way through winter, they keep my bottom warm and everything else attached. And you can't beat them. If you're going to go for something, go for a pair of long johns.
Well, that's good advice if ever I've heard it. And coming up after the break, Jeff's at the Classic Show. Wayne meets the man who makes trikes, and there's another top tip.
Now, we always try and bring you the very latest on two wheels, but there is another side to biking, and that's the classic scene. And we're here at the Stafford Classic Show, when I find my way through all these people. And in there's lots of bikes, and there's a lot of interesting innovations that we're going to have a look at. Now, here's an unusual bike. Saw where my hands were? This is about that tall from top to bottom. There's no petrol tank. This is just a cover. It was the Norton Lowboy of the mid-50s, 350cc. But they used to have big dustbin fairings, as they used to call them, on the front. But when those were banned by the FAM, they had to do something else to keep a low profile on the bike. Take the tank off, put the petrol tank down there. Oil tank that used to be there has been moved down here, and altogether drop the height. And also, you've seen at the top here, there's no top yoke to the forks. It looks really odd here. You've got the headstock, and then they beefed it up down below. But it meant you could really get low on this. You could really be a low boy. Now, here's an interesting little motor. This is a Rudge 1931, but it's a little V-twin. It's 250. But one of the most interesting things, you can actually see the valve gear on this, but that's not the interesting part. It's the fact that it's got 4-valve cylinder heads. So you've all heard of 4 valves. These are them, and they're radial as well. See the angle they're going at? That one that way, the other one that way. Operated from push rods on the other side, but it gives you a nice, easy to fill combustion chamber, and also easy to empty with 2 exhaust valves. But very nice. And this one was actually supercharged originally, but very neat. 250 V-twin, smart. Now, Velocet, they were another firm who were innovators. They were one of the first with telescopic front forks. This is one from 1955, but they'd used these from early on. The engine was also pretty unusual. A high camshaft design, it used to be called. Very short push rods, stopped them flexing, gave you relatively high engine revs. And in there, the gears are absolutely wonderful. They're helical gears, which means they're cut on the cross, which makes very quiet running. Nice bit of engineering in there. Coming back here, the rear suspension, instead of jacking up the spring with a C-spanner here, what you could do, slacken off that bolt, put it forward for being soft, pull it back, and that stiffened up the preload. A very neat way of adjusting the rear suspension. Some quite nice touches, and a very distinctive silencer, the old fishtail silencer. And over there, there's even a nicer one, the Velocet Thruxton. Now, the Thruxton down there, that was developed in the mid-60s. It won the 500-mile race, the endurance race, at the Thruxton circuit. Very nice-looking bike, did the business.
So if I happen to mention motorbikes with 3 wheels, immediately you'll probably think of sidecars, which is fair enough. Now, we're on about trikes. And if I mention the word trikes, you usually think of them old, horrible things that have been put together with horrible pieces of metal, done DIY style, usually with a Volkswagen engine at the back or possibly a big Chevy engine in the middle, and they're usually ugly and horrible. Right, well, not anymore. Not anymore. Take this as a shining example. This is a VMAX, serious lump of metal here, powering these great big wheels at the back. Nicely engineered bike, created by a place in Cardiff called the Trike Shop. And I'm going to introduce you to Aidan over here. Now, Aidan happens to be the man behind the Trike Shop, don't you, mate?
Yes.
And you've been playing at these trikes for a number of years. How long, like?
About 25 years in total.
Flipping heck. Is this because you didn't get on with the two wheels, or what?
No, we just had an accident on the motorway one day and just decided to go to 3.
Go to 3. And were you one of them that made a funny and ugly looking sort of Volkswagen Beetle type thing?
No, the first one was a kit. It was the Phoenix Trike, which was one of the originals.
And you bolted that together yourself?
Yeah, all together.
And did that give you the buzz then to create these sort of things?
Yeah, over a number of years. I started to make odd ones in between, but then I started to come up with the, the leading, this type of suspension.
I mean, these are wonderful creations, and you've done so many different types of bikes as well, haven't you? I mean, this Marauder's different to the VMAX. Tell us a bit about all the others you've done.
Well, we do anything. Any bike that's on the market, we'll do.
You can do it?
Yeah, there's nothing we'll stop it.
No limitations?
No.
So give us an example.
Well, his Hayabusa is the fastest,
Yeah.
down to a Phaser 600, which is
Really?
well, not the slowest, but the smallest engine.
And a little bike with 600cc Phaser, is that still enough power to sort out the delivery power to these big wheels?
No problem at all. It does
Really?
98 horsepower, and it's really good. There's plenty of power, and it goes very well.
Your customers, they must vary a lot. Do you have some strange requests, maybe?
Yeah, it was the strangest request we've had so far is an 8-seater.
8?
8-seater, which
V8.
we don't do. That had to be a V8. We don't do car engines.
What? An 8-seater? I can't get my head around that. That's a
Yeah,
very strange
well,
request.
it was a very strange
you
request.
sent them packing because you like to do your thing, the thing
Yeah.
you've set up. Because you've obviously worked very hard to engineer all this. You must now presumably have jigs and everything for various bikes.
Yes, well, yes, we got bikes, Triumphs, Kawasaki's, do the VMAX, was the newest addition to the trikes,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about the construction and the units, what you've created, that perhaps a bit different to another.
Well, we do reverse, which is very unusual for
It is, isn't it?
For what we're doing for chain drive and diff drive. I
Yeah.
think we're the only one to do it at the moment.
So why would you want to reverse then?
Well, it's just so you can go backwards, because a lot of people can't push them. There's people out there with disabilities, one leg, or they may have lost both
Yeah.
legs, or in a wheelchair, and they can't push them backwards.
So you find you've got customers that have got mobility problems then?
Yes, we've got a few of our customers gone, about 5 or 6.
Really? Well, I suppose that's the perfect form of transport if they've got... well, there's a lot of bikers with disabilities, so it's a good avenue to go down. Do you then sort of create to suit that customer then?
Yeah, well, they tell us the specifications they need and what disability they've got, and we try and accommodate.
Great stuff. Oh, well, that's good. I can't blame them. I mean, it keeps them on bikes. I was going to say it keeps them on 2 wheels, but it's on 3 and 2.
We have done one for a person with a bike as well.
Have you?
He lost both his legs from below the knee, and we had to fit Clictronic because he couldn't. Well, he could stand it up.
Yeah.
But he couldn't change gear.
So that clicked on it for the gear change,
Yeah.
so we can change on the back. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, this is a very intricate, fancy piece of engineering. Do you do it all here in-house then?
90% is done in-house.
Do you really? Wow, and does this mean then that enables you to sort of keep your eye on the quality control and everything? Is that one of the ideas? Yeah?
Everything is either TIG welded, MIG welded, or engineered in-house. The other thing we have done outside is just certain little tiny bits of engineering which we can't handle.
Yeah, fair enough then. So you've obviously set your stall out then to use only the very best, to make a very high standard product, not perhaps to a price. You've decided you want to do it to a quality.
Yeah.
But does this reflect on the price? I mean, what will a back end cost someone?
Just for the back end, price starts at about 2,500, and then for a complete bike starts at about 6,000.
Right. Oh well, then it isn't particularly costly considering it's all done handcrafted and so on and so forth. I mean, we mentioned the fact that you do unique and special things, and the fact that you've decided you'll do them for absolutely any bike. Is that unique to you then?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a lot of places out there that only do one particular bike, or they only use 2 or 3 different bikes. We'll check out any bike on the road.
People, the type of people who buy these, we mentioned riders with disabilities, your characters, they must have some characters of different natures. Tell me who bought the trikes off you.
One of the well-known people at the moment is Stuart Gable from the Stereophonics.
The drummer, yeah.
The drummer, yeah. He decided he wanted a trike. He came down for a Harley and went on with a Marauder.
Like this?
This one.
Well, how about that? Flipping it. So you got famous customers.
Yeah.
You've got strange customers who ask strange requests, and you've got customers who you create special bespoke bikes for. We're very impressed. I do know you created the Hayabusa,
Yeah.
which is a serious amount of power.
Yeah.
I don't suppose there's a chance of having a go on one of these things, is there?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Fantastic, but don't tell Paul because he won't let me anywhere near a set of handlebars. Thanks very much.
No, I'm not praying in front of my bike, but I'll tell you what, a piece of old carpet put down, brilliant, save the old knees on a cold concrete floor. This one, the use of a mirror. See this old handbag mirror? Not mine, it was my wife's, a broken one, but if you're feeling generous, buy yourself a new one. But that can be so useful. Look at this, just say we're looking for an oil leak under the engine, and there I can see the drain plug and the filter. Dead easy to have a look-see for. But if that mirror's too big, you could get yourself one of these from any chemist or drugstore, a little dental mirror, tiny little mirror on there. And say you're looking at something smaller, like this, the clutch cylinder there. You can look round there on the seam just to see if it's leaking from the joint. It isn't, I'm pleased to say, but it makes the job dead easy and saves you standing on your head, carpet or not.
And coming up on Two Wheels next week, lucky old Jeff gets a very exclusive ride on MV Agusta's brand new F4.